Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we need to talk about a subject that's been filling social media, news reports, and endless clickbait articles. World War III preparation. You've probably seen countless headlines telling you to panic, stockpile, or prepare for the end of the world. But the truth is, a lot of what you're being told is either exaggerated or outright misleading. There are things that actually matter when it comes to preparation, and there are distractions that only serve to make you more fearful and less focused on what counts. So let us cut through the noise and talk about what real, and what isn't. The first big lie you've been fed is that preparation is all about weapons, bunkers, and months of food hoarded away. While those things might sound impressive, they're not the core of real preparedness. The truth is, most people who rush to spend thousands on panic buys aren't actually safer. They're just reacting to fear. Real preparation starts with understanding the risks, knowing what scenarios are actually likely, and then building step-by-step strategies around those possibilities. Most conflicts in modern times, even large ones, don't lead to total collapse everywhere. They impact certain regions severely, while others face secondary effects like supply shortages, economic turmoil, or energy disruptions. That means instead of obsessing over nuclear-proof bunkers, your focus should be on practical survival. Strategies that keep you and your family functioning in an unstable environment. It's not about surviving some apocalyptic wasteland. It's about navigating disruption intelligently. One of the most important areas that gets overlooked is financial preparation. In a global conflict, markets collapse, inflation spikes, and currencies can lose value quickly. If you're holding all your wealth in unstable systems, you're vulnerable. Preparing financially doesn't mean you have to be rich. It means diversifying, holding some savings outside of the banking system. It's cutting unnecessary debt and ensuring you have access to essentials, even if the financial system shakes. That's survival in a modern war era, and almost no one talks about it. Next, let's talk about health. In any major conflict, medical systems become strained or collapse. Hospitals become overcrowded, supply chains for medicine get disrupted, and access to basic health care becomes uncertain. This is where preparation matters. Do you know how to treat minor injuries at home? You have first aid supplies, essential medicines, and knowledge of how to stay healthy when systems fail? People often think of food and weapons first, but in reality, the thing that kills fastest in times of crisis is untreated health issues. Stocking up on antibiotics, pain relief, water purification tablets, and basic first aid kits will take you further than panic buying gadgets. Another overlooked aspect is community. The myth pushed by many fear-mongers is that survival is about going solo, locking yourself in a bunker, and fighting off everyone else. In reality, history shows that those who survive long-term crises do so through cooperation. Humans are social beings, and networks of support are what help people endure shortages, defend resources, and rebuild. Building trust with neighbors, family, or local communities may seem less dramatic than stocking up on ammo, but it is far more effective. Now let's talk about food and water, because yes, they do matter, but not in the way they're being sold to you. You don't need a 5-year bunker stash. You need redundancy and adaptability. It means having enough food for a few months. Yes, but also learning how to cook from scratch, ration properly, and grow or source food locally if needed. With water, stockpiling endless bottles isn't realistic. What matters most is the ability to purify and store water safely. Filters, purification tablets, and knowledge of how to source water in your environment will save you in ways stockpiling cannot. Then comes energy. Wars disrupt supply chains, and fuel becomes scarce or expensive. Electricity can be unstable. Preparing here doesn't mean buying a giant generator. It means having small, adaptable energy sources. Solar chargers, rechargeable batteries, and knowing how to use less energy effectively can make you resilient. Think about what you really need to power: communication, light, and some basic tools. That's it. Cut the fantasy of powering your entire house for years. Practical energy resilience is far simpler. And let's not ignore the psychological aspect. Fear, panic, and misinformation are some of the deadliest weapons in modern times. People often crumble not because of direct attacks, but because of the mental toll. Preparing mentally through stress management, clear decision-making, and filtering truth from lies is just as important as physical resources. If you're stable, calm, and informed, you can adapt. If you're panicked, you become reckless. And reckless decisions are deadly in unstable times. Governments and media often push narratives designed to keep populations either calm or panicked, depending on what serves their interest. That means you can't rely entirely on official statements or sensationalist headlines. Learning to analyze information critically, comparing multiple sources, and preparing based on realistic assessments rather than hype is what makes someone resilient. Don't let propaganda dictate your choices. Something else you've likely been told is that war automatically equals nuclear devastation. While nuclear weapons are real, their use is far less likely than most fear-based headlines suggest. The reality is, nuclear war is mutually destructive, and most powers know it. The greater threat lies in economic collapse, cyber warfare, energy shortages, and regional instability spreading globally. That's what you should be preparing for, because those are far more probable scenarios. Preparation also includes mobility. If your plan is to simply sit still, you may find yourself trapped. Having a go bag ready, with essentials like documents, food, water filtration, clothing, and first aid, can mean the difference between survival and chaos if evacuation is needed. Mobility isn't about running away from everything, but about giving yourself options. Options are power in crisis. People also underestimate the importance of skills. You can lose supplies, but you can't lose skills once you have them. Learning basic survival skills like firemaking, navigation, food preservation, first aid, and communication will put you ahead of anyone relying only on what they've bought. Skills are lightweight, portable, and always with you. Investing in learning rather than just spending money is one of the smartest prep strategies. Now, let's address security. Yes, self-defense matters. But again, it's not about stockpiling endless weapons like you see in movies. True security is layered. It's about awareness, deterrence, and last resort defense. It's about protecting your family without drawing unnecessary attention. In many crisis situations, the most dangerous threat is not soldiers, it's desperate civilians. Security means blending in, staying aware, and knowing how to avoid conflict before it happens. Technology is another area that gets overlooked. In a modern conflict, communications may be disrupted, but that doesn't mean you're powerless. Small radios, offline maps, backup batteries, and basic digital hygiene can keep you connected and informed when systems fail. Understanding how to function offline, while still having access to critical data, can be the difference between being lost and being prepared. Ultimately, preparation isn't about living in fear. It's about building resilience so that no matter what happens, you can adapt. The lies you've been told are designed to make you think only in extremes. Either panic now or do nothing. The truth is in the middle. Preparation is boring, practical, and steady. It's about covering your essentials, building your knowledge, and staying mentally strong. That's what really matters if tensions escalate into something larger. So, when you see headlines screaming about bunkers, panic buying, or the inevitability of nuclear doom, remember that these are distractions. Focus on what you can control. Build resilience in your finances, health, community, and skills. Prepare food, water, and energy in practical ways. Strengthen your mental and emotional stability. That's the foundation of survival in any crisis. They're lying to you about what matters because fear sells. But preparation isn't about fear, it's about responsibility. The people who quietly prepare in these ways are the ones who endure, while those chasing panic-driven myths burn out quickly. Don't get caught up in the noise. Focus on the essentials. That's how you really prepare for the possibility of World War III, and for any crisis life throws your way.